Good morning, and happy National Election Day. It is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. 98.1 million people have already voted, and more will do so today. But for now, you can be relaxed and be informed. Here is your daily bite of news. President Trump and Joe Biden spent Monday campaigning in key states deemed critical to deciding the outcome of the election. President Trump held 5 rallies in 4 states, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Joe Biden spent most of the day in Pennsylvania, but also went to Cleveland, Ohio. A New Orleans federal appeals court denied a request from Texas Republicans for a ban on drive-through votings in the state, saying that the plaintiffs' voters lacked standing. U.S. District Judge Andrew Hannon hinted that drive-through voting may have future merits for being invalidated, but that tossing out 127,000 legitimate votes so close to voting day Tuesday as an attachment to that was not efficient. After the judge expressed reservations, it was announced only one drive-through location would be operating on Election Day. A record 18.6 million firearms have been sold so far this year, according to research groups SOF and FBI data, and gun sales surged 65% in the months of October from last year's numbers. 6.9 million people purchased a firearm for the first time, and gun sales increased even in blue Democratic areas. COVID-19 cases are at a record high, and many are convinced it is too late to stop the virus. Some states like Idaho are embracing a let-it-ride approach. There have been an increased expression of helplessness at containing the virus spread, and instead a focusing on improving survivability and trying to hold the economy together. In one Kootenai County in Idaho, the local health board repealed the requirement to wear masks in public. A member of the board says, "If they want to be dumb enough to walk around out there and expose themselves, that's fine with me." The original backlash over the mask wearing came from residents who had moved there to get away and escape from overbearing government. Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota wrote, "There is no way to stop this virus." Governor Mike DeLevy of Alaska said in an interview that rising case numbers this fall should not cause people to go into hiding. "It's like being told you're going to get hit with a meteorite. There's a point where you say, 'I still have to live,'" he said. These are examples of what health officials call pandemic fatigue, and it is alarming health officials who are dealing with full hospitals, exhausted staff, and a rising death count. The New York Times reported on Monday that China had officially blocked the World Health Organization from investigating the origin of the coronavirus. The coronavirus was first reported to have originated from bats at animal wet markets, but numerous observers noted that bat species were not sold at that particular animal market. There is powerful evidence that the coronavirus passed naturally from an animal into humans, or that a bat may have infected other animals before infecting humans. And it was thought early on that it was more likely the virus may have come from Wuhan's virology labs, where coronavirus was studied. China is not allowing WHO to conduct an investigation probe into the original source point. Documents obtained by the New York Times show that China may be allowing outside investigations, but it is only permitting Chinese scientists to handle key parts of the inquiry about the first patient's role and the wet market origin. And unfortunately, WHO is unable to oppose that, as they have an outsider invited guest status. Lawrence Gostin, a professor of global health law at Georgetown University, told the New York Times regarding the investigation that WHO was doing the best they could to negotiate with Xi Jinping, China's leader, but it was an absolute whitewash. In Kabul, Afghanistan, 3 gunmen stormed a book fair event at Kabul University, attended by ambassadors and dignitaries. The hours-long gun battle left 19 dead and 22 wounded, some of them students. The attackers were killed at the end of the fight by Afghan troops, and it is not clear who the gunmen represented. The Taliban issued a statement that they were not responsible. Suspicion currently falls on the Islamic State group, who had been bombing education centers and targeting Shiite Muslims since 2014. In Vienna, Austria, a gunman opened fire on crowds in a busy inner-city district of restaurants and clubs, leaving 4 dead and 15 people injured. Police shot the attacker, and on Tuesday morning, Austrian police raided the homes of the assailant's known circle of friends and family and made several arrests for questioning. The interior minister and media is guessing the attack is a terrorist endeavor due to the assailant being an Islamic State sympathizer. The shooting did take place near a Jewish synagogue, but it is not clear if that was the intended target as it was closed. On surveillance videos, the gunman is seen wearing all black, just running around randomly shooting victims. Vienna's chancellor is asking citizens to remain home and avoid public places for now until the danger is fully known. 54 people were killed in Ethiopia over the weekend when 3 Amhara group villages were assaulted by the armed rebel group Oromo Liberation Army. They killed the victims by luring them to the school compound before plundering the villages and setting everything on fire. The attack came days after federal forces had moved out of the area, removing the villagers' protections. Ethnic grievances around resources, land, and borders has intensified, even as Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed tries to unify the ethnically federated states since he came into office in 2018. On Monday, human rights groups urged the government to investigate why federal government troops abruptly left just before the attacks began, because it raises questions as to if the two actions were premeditated. In Russia early Monday, several intruders broke into the home of Russia's sausage king, Vladimir Maragov, tied him and a woman up before shooting him with a crossbow. The investigative committee says the intruders demanded money and fled in a car that was later found abandoned. The woman managed to escape and alert police during the incident. The country of France plans to ban a Turkish ultra-nationalist group known as the Grey Wolves after supporters of the group graffitied a memorial center to mass killings of Armenians in World War I. The move to ban the group will be put to the French cabinet on Wednesday. The Grey Wolves are seen as a right-wing group allied to Turkish President Erdogan, who recently insulted French President Macron by questioning his mental health for Macron's attack on Islamic schools in France. The Grey Wolves group are regarded as militant and were known for causing havoc in Turkish streets in the 1970s. Well, that will do for our news today. If you'd like to read up on the topics we discussed, please see our description below for our sources. Subscribe to receive a daily news update. Thank you for listening. Be relaxed, be informed, be connected.